there yet for that, but like if you wanna, you know, the teeth,
doing it, man. But
the hairline joints,
if you wanna, you know,
if you wanna get that, then do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
speaking of someone that doesn't need enhancements, I think this is like, it's in a weird way, it's like the Mandem's crush that they're allowed to like say that, you know what,
that's a good pivot, man.
Like that's a handsome man. David Beckham.
That's a good pivot. That was good.
A beautiful.
What's that infamous clip of Savage Dan? If these men do it,
I'll do it. Can you give me some context?
Because I'm saying like, bro, if you're in football circles, there's a lot of like homoerotic banter. They won't say it in this urban sector, in this like GRM link up environment. Man, then will be honest about how much they love David Beckham.
You know what? That is a great example because from
man, them have their own MCMs.
From young, like we not.
What, 2K?
Hey yo,
too close to the edge. I'm on the edge. Sorry.
Man have their own MCMs is nuts.
This is why I feel I shouldn't drink.
Do you know what? But the man them have known that Bex was a good looking man from early.
Yeah.
From day dot, man.
Do you know what I mean? Not just like when he's been old and like he's had the tats, you know, I know that is the thing at the moment, but he was the poster boy for Baird and Blonde Juice.
Yeah.
Back then. They all had Brill cream off the shelf.
Yeah.
Fresh. Even had the niggas trying to go and get a Brill cream.
Hey, not too much of them eats from Essex and that.
David Beckham.
I remember when he wore a do-rag to go link, what's it called, Prince Charles at the time when he was Prince.
Fam, he was doing
just
mad
moving
cultural
like Tupac,
things.
bro.
Yeah. He was just doing his own thing.
Cane rolls, skinhead.
Yeah.
Like looking back, I've always like David Beckham is a good looking man. Fine. And growing up, I know that I thought he was good looking then, but watching the Beckham documentary on Netflix, I was looking at him like, no, he was like, he's hot back then, even by today's standards. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, he was just so like charismatic and charming, just good looking. Wow.
How much does status and money influence people's perceptions? Because I always feel like when you are someone like David Beckham, you were wearing the number 7 shirt for Man United, you know, you've got the iconic flipping, not celebration, but like free kick technique. Everybody knows who you are.
Yeah.
So naturally, when you're constantly in the public eye, people see and perceive you in a positive way. If you saw like a David Beckham walking down Romford Market today, would you look at that white guy the same way you look at David Beckham? Or do you have...
Do you know who you're sitting next to?
Can you shut the...
If there's one person in this room that likes milk, full fat milk,
Blue top. Crazy.
Listen, you're singing that tune right now.
I said milkman, yeah?
Yeah. Sorry.
Cool down.
Sorry.
My rebuttal to that is, do you remember that green-eyed convict, Jeremy Meeks? I think that was his
He's
name.
going to the top shop, Don's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people like went crazy. The whole reason that he had a modelling career is because people saw his mugshot. He was a literal convict, like an actual criminal. And people were still like, I'll have some of that. So I don't, yes, the status might boost it, but
You're saying if you're buff, you're buff.
if you're buff, you're buff. There's actually no
Yeah, like, no, just in any walks of life. Like, for example, even if like you're not the best looking person in the world, but if you're the best looking person in the room, you will stand out.
Yeah.
Do you know
I think what you're asking is right. They're like, status will add to it as well.
It does.
You have to already be buff a little bit as well.
But if like you're already like handsome in that world, then obviously it will propel you. Yeah. But obviously, like, you have to have other things about you as well.
But he was smart.
Do you know what I'm saying?
He understood that he was an attractive guy, and he doubled, whether it was him or his team. And then getting with Victoria, he doubled down with like the H&M adverts, the
police,
cologne. Like, he understood. Like, he is, when you think about it, responsible for a lot of footballers having side hustles now.
Brand extension would become a thing
like
after.
He was the first person to
Beckham.
really do it at scale. Most footballers would just, go to training, go home, play some golf maybe, and that's about it. But my man's
gamble,
out. Gamble, drink your flipping life away. When my man's like, yo, I got paid, what was it that he said in the documentary? I got paid 50 racks from one brand, spent it 1 week, and I got 50 racks.
Do you know, I'm so happy I heard that, because they like to get onto the mandem so much about financial responsibility. You're hearing someone over there who is successful getting it in. He got his 50 and went and bought a car right away. It happens to everybody.
And it's especially in a story of like humble beginnings. Obviously, this 4-part series, docu-series on Netflix.
Yeah.
About David Beckham. In like they crammed a lot in 4 episodes.
Did they? They managed to skate over the cheating.
I was gonna
that was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
That was
but that like
we went skiing,
bro. You lot doing the gossip.
You think on my own documentary, I'm gonna admit in 4K. Yeah. We had a small issue as a family. That was it.
If I'm a man of this stature,
yeah,
and I have Netflix come and approach me to do this,
yeah,
I'm gonna have a lot more control than Anelka did, for example.
Of course.
Obviously,
yeah.
Not to shoot at Anelka,
No,
but,
I hate it. It was just a funny thing because it's like, rah.
Yeah, absolutely. They skated over that so beautifully, yeah.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna talk about his entire career, on and off the pitch, there's a lot to put in.
So
right?
let's go for the biggest talking point for people is like who had more influence out of the two.
It's just
but that's
the blacks.
You have to give the people what they want, though, bro.
Blacks.
It's not just the blacks, though, bro.
Man,
I hate this conversation because it's like,
okay, who do you live amongst,
bro?
The niggas or not?
Niggers.
Yeah. So
the thing is, sometimes like I like to say things like you just had to be there. Not to say like I was a grown up around these times, but I was old enough to remember certain points, right? And you can kind of like, when I was watching this documentary, there were just like certain things that I was like, I can vividly remember this moment. I can vividly remember me being at the youth club watching Beckham score that free kick against Colombia in the World Cup. Do you know what I'm saying? Like where he wasn't selected before that game. They were having issues with Glenn Hoddle, and they picked the side man Darren Anderton to fill that position.
Darren Anderton's just catching shot for no reason.
Saying
Glenn Hoddle is an op.
Glenn Hoddle was an op, and as a kid, I never understood the implications or like how he instigated a lot.
The world.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like in terms of like how everyone in England at the time, how they treated Becks. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, I think I'm missing my point here.
He didn't help himself though with the whole kick out thing.
He didn't.
No, but looking back in hindsight, and I think we all watch football. We might watch football to a certain degree.
I love sports.
But then, like, it was a red card.
Blatant red card right in front of the referee was dumb, bro.
But the outrage that came as a result of it,
fam, like,
makes
get at David Batty, bro. Paul Ince, them man. They missed the penalty.
But you know what it is though? We see that with hindsight, in the moment, it's like, if we had 11 versus 11 on the pitch, we probably had a better opportunity. Even though, like, yes, it still went to penalties. Because even his dad said it still went to penalties.
Yeah, they're not going to.
But what it is,
but no, man, were hanging in my kid,
bro. In my mind at the time, I was like, right, they need to get onto these man. That missed the penalty because,
of course.
Like, obviously,
Paul Ince's penalty was shocking.
It was, bro. And I'm like, right, David Batty, like, he wasn't.
You weren't even the guy like that. Why are you even there, bro?
I felt for him, and I think it made me realize. Like, I've known this as somebody that works in the media and somebody that like pays attention to everything. The British press are awful.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. He got sent off, and he shouldn't have got sent off. What he did in the heat of the moment, get some stick.
Having a manager though,
bullets
coming
to his
out
house for football effigies.
Yeah.
Like, it
Heard us getting barged in the street. His boy they had to take him toilet.
Man are spitting at him.
You ever seen like, the scene in Shotters where they follow when they follow my man to the toilet to have his back?
The thing is that like you got to think about it in like so many different ways as well. It's like the people that were supposed to protect him didn't. Number one. His age plays a factor. He was still quite young.
Yeah,
it's the same like we saw it in the Euros with the young boys that missed the penalty. Obviously, like it's different because it was race targeted, but it was just under the premise of like that blame where they're pointing at someone and like these are the people that are representing you like out there doing certain things, and of course they're going to make mistakes. Yes, it was stupid, but it was blown out of proportion as well.
It was, it
way
was
out of proportion, man.
And then when you have the person like your manager coming out and saying,
they said it was his fault. We lost because of him. But you know, as a manager, he made it too easy for his gaffer where it's like, yeah, because maybe if my job's on the line or like the press is going to be on to me, I can blame Becks. It was a cowardly thing to do as a grown man.
Yeah.
But he took the... You see managers do it, bro.
But it's crazy because Becks, like, I didn't realise, grew up idolising him. Yeah. So in the documentary, you were talking about, I saw
a lot of them ballers from that era, they love off Glenn Hoddle.
Glenn Hoddle, and I was like, yeah, this is who I want to model my game off. And then to have, what's the phrase? To don't meet your idols. Yeah. Idols become rivals.
Yeah.
And that was a classic case of it because maybe, and I can't speak on Glenn Hoddle's behalf, there was an element of, who's this little young'un that's coming to step into my shoes and take the mantle of what it is that I want.
You're no longer in that position no more, bro.
Because you're a gaffer now. It's
give it up. Like, create your own legacy as a gaffer now.
But it also shows maybe part of the reason why England haven't been successful at major tournaments because of like that toxic environment with the national team, the press, the fans. So yeah, I don't know that I didn't like. What I find interesting, I think if there's two people on this planet that Victoria Beckham hates, it's Glenn Hoddle and Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
Because her and Sir Alex are going machine for machine.
Yeah.
Because see Victoria Beckham, yeah, she did the thing that not all women, but like she just embodies it where it's like, I don't even like football.
But I'm going to be here.
The night before, one of the biggest games of his life, she's like, yeah, by the way, I'm pregnant.
Yeah. She was like, yeah.
He's going to wait till the morning.
After the game.
Oh, no. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you could be happy and gas, whatever, but like, come on, it's different rules when you're a sports star's wife, man.
Also, can I just say, now that we're here as well, men don't love like that no more, you know. Man would charter a flight to go and see his babes for like...
When you have the means, you will, though, innit? Come on, man.
Drive from Manchester.
Yeah, I hear it.
This is hate.
I know. I just want to believe the narrative. Let me
I'm not even hating.
Yeah.
I'm not even hating. No, I'm not even hating. I understood everything that he did.
This is a pause-free zone, man.
I know, but it just felt like appropriate.
I understood everything that man did in the name of being besotted with his babes. Right?
This guy can't say the word love.
Let Vans cook, man.
I like besotted, though.
No, I like that, yeah, man.
No, because, yes, it was love.
4 hours driving just to spend 20 minutes.
Yeah, the reason why I say
it's love.
The reason why I say it's besotted, is because it was the beginning. Because you didn't hear anything of that tale once you went to Madrid.
Oh shit!
But the paparazzi was flogging him at that point.
You didn't hear it when he was going to LA.
No, in his defense, I've seen a photo of like 12 different engagement rings. Like,
and I'm not
he keeps updating the ring.
But this
not too much of my go.
But he got the means though. Once again,
cool down. Everybody, cool down.
Man United argument. Man United best
No, there's no agenda here. There's no agenda here. And I was speaking to my boy about it this morning.
Yeah.
Right. And he was like, right, like, that's nuts. And I was like, it's not though. Do you know what I'm saying? Because like, at the end of the day, they're two superstars.
Yeah.
Within their own right. Obviously, like, you can do the debate of who's bigger or whatever.
Yeah.
Equally yoked for me.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to be without her. So any opportunity that he could find, and yes, he did put a lot of shit at risk by doing that because of where he was at.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a free zone. You weren't a superstar yet. You were part of the project.
Calculated?
No, I'm just saying that, like, you got to think about all the variables.
So Alex Ferguson had a chokehold at Man United, didn't he? So it's like,
yeah, like what the tight ship that Ferguson was running at United wasn't the same environment that he was at when he was at Madrid and all the clubs thereafter. You saw the special treatment that they had towards Beckham, like where dons like Steve Bruce and them, man, are like, we don't normally see this. Like, we see this young kid in the dressing room all the time.
Yeah.
Paul Ince and them, man. They're like, this is clear that this is someone that Fergie had his eye on and it was part of his plans. And then Fergie later says that you can't be in love with a footballer because, do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to grow and then they're going to move on and then you got to think about the next. So obviously he knew you can't get too attached. He knew the kind of relationship that it needed to be in order for Beckham to fulfill his potential.
I didn't like how he handled it. Something obviously, like
he did. Yeah, he didn't.
Obviously, he's justified because he ended up winning, and
it was the 90s, early 2000s.
But it's like almost like you hated the fact he had this girl because she did distraction with these things. But like, if you treat like it's stood the test of time, they're still together to this day.
I didn't forget a haircut. I
didn't agree with a lot of.
He almost been moving like a bit of a dictator a little bit.
It was, but it's what worked for United, and who was going to tell him to do anything different?
Yeah.
That's what
But he made a few mistakes though. He let Yap Stam go, he let Beckham go. How he handled it as well. Like,
he did.
You don't have a conversation with me. Then it's one of those things that's like, I love, you know, they call him Sir Gaffer. There's that respect. He has that, yeah. But maybe they won't do it in the media and the press. Roy Keane will, because he doesn't care. But like the man respect, you still didn't speak to me. Of course, maybe you have to be detached, but it's like, I wasn't worthy of a chat. Because he didn't really want to go like that.
Like, I'm on holiday.
But he's like, course, I'm going to go Real Madrid. But he didn't actually want to go.
Yeah, and even how he approached that whole situation, and then they asked him about it now, and he was like, you know, at that point, there was nothing that was going to change anything. But yes, you still need to have that conversation. If you are the man that you say you are, then why can't you handle these difficult situations head on? Because you know you're wrong in this point.
The only like bail I give him, I think the perspective he might have been looking at from is like, I can't have someone feel like they're bigger than the squad because it challenges my authority and it makes it harder to manage these other players. But listen,
that's just
you guys need to step your source up, because go and get yourself a pop star then, if that's the case,
I
isn't
think
it?
if anything, that was where football was going anyway. Because when you look after like that era of the Yap Stams and the David Beckhams, and you get your Rio Ferdinands and you get your Wayne Rooneys, and then you get Cristiano fucking Ronaldo. Football was always going to evolve to that point where you get superstars that are technically bigger than the team. Cristiano Ronaldo.
It just so happened that
he was the straw that broke the camel's back.
He was a pioneer in how footballers were marketed. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because they had superstars, and Beckham was of that era where like a lot of these sporting brand corporations were making these
the man they wanted to wear Predators because of him, bro.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember
Predators in school as well.
I remember like one of the first adverts that I saw, Adidas advert. It wasn't just Beckham in it. It was Kluivert was in it. Zidane was in it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these athletes, and he just understood that there was more outside of the game that he loved, because he was actually very dedicated to football, contrary to like what other people may have thought, because he was out there.
Footballer he was.
People did forget.
People forgot how good of a footballer he was. And I'm not a Man United fan in the slightest.
Tech on a million.
Bro.
Best free kick taker of all time. I don't care what anyone says.
The thing is
Juninho.
I'm biased, statistically, yes.
Juninho.
No, I just think aesthetics wise.
Oh, you like panache, innit?
That R1 finesse.
He had a one-of-one technique, which became a logo, which became his thing, right? And he was a dead ball specialist, bro. Yeah. Like, some of the highlights that we saw throughout that doc, whether he was at United or Madrid, like, there were just some real pinpoint accuracy. Like, it was just straight to where the other player needed it. Yeah, and that's what made him so good. Do you know what I mean?
Because you can't become the star off the pitch if you aren't killing it on the pitch.
Yeah,
because it's your excellence that people. Because remember, like the iconic.
Bro, Jamie Redknapp was good looking too. He didn't pop.
And his pop's wife ain't a Spice Girl in it. Like, come on, chill out.
Do you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, you have someone that has something else other than what you're essentially known for. Yeah, like if you merge the two, like you're gonna get something great. And he was part of the he was instrumental in a team that was winning things.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they won the treble at the time where, like, you know, we didn't see that. I remember that game. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, yeah, United, this ain't United's. I don't know how they're gonna come back from this, but they did.
See it there, we did.
I mean, you know what I mean? You don't only come back kings.
How am I United now, though?
Hey man, I have fond memories of my childhood.
Yeah,
look back on fonder times.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, like I think it was beautiful to see the timeline of Becks and like you know how them two kind of navigated through a lot of shit. Like,
she hates football though, absolutely detests football.
I mean,
do you know one thing I also
I like that she stuck to her guns.
Yeah,
like I've never really understood the relationship between husband and wife when it comes to like footballers, because they actually have to travel. For example, if you're going to LA Galaxy, you're going to uproot your entire life and move to LA. And then next week he's saying, yeah, right, I want to go to Milan still. And he's on a plane to Milan. And
she's like, what?
And you just think about the football aspect. Oh yeah, he's in Milan. But then you don't actually see and understand we need to get schools for the kids. oh, we need to. Do they speak the language? Where am I gonna live? Like,
we don't see that aspect when we're fighting about the transfer window.
Yeah, and
That's rich nigga problems though. You're not going to get sympathy.
it just dawned on me, even just uprooting your life. Let's say, for example, you're playing,
But it does impact
from Portsmouth
it does impact like a lot of players' decisions at times.
I think the LA move was obviously made good business sense financially, and it's paid off now to where he's at now in terms of like one of the best deals. But I think also that was like, you know, like you see stars when they get towards the end of the career, they have to make this decisions for my family. You see, like Tom Brady didn't make it, and it kind of fucked up his relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like the LA move, as much as it was good for business, was like Victoria saying, "This one's for me, basically, and the kids, because we're gonna get out of Spain and this heat with the paparazzi." I'm a Spice Girl. Hollywood is kind of my level. I need to be in fucking LA, bro.
My intro party has Will Smith and all.
Like I was hanging out with Dame Dash. Get me back to LA, bro. I'm playing it, but I was like
today, her with all the Rockefeller.
Yeah, he tried to break her in terms of
There was a time period, but she had a few bops.
Yeah, she did.
Under Dame.
Yeah,
she had a few bops under Dame, I can't lie.
Yeah, she did. But it's just like, I could be wrong, but I just looked at that as like, that was for the family as well, and it made sense. It's like, okay, cool, let's go out here. And they say like the kids are more settled. They kind of got left alone a bit because like, yes, we're out here. Like Will Smith and I throwing your welcome party.
Everyone's famous out there, isn't it?
People are going to restaurants and like Tom Cruise is there. You might get ignored because that's Tom Cruise, isn't it? Even though you're Victoria and David Beckham still, that's still Tom Cruise. So you can kind of like, celebrities and high level people still want a little bit of time where they can just kind of blend in a bit and not get troubled. Yeah. So I think they were saying that it was nice for them, for the kids as well. So
yeah, man.
But Bex is selfish though. I respect it though. Man went Milan and it's like, I want to go PSG. Man was like, I'm not done, man.
When you deep it and you look at it, he actually spent a lot of his career in some of the best cities in the world: Milan, Paris, LA, Madrid. Like he's got a nice little couple stamps on his passport. I actually like Manchester. I enjoy Manchester. Right. I'm going in 2 weeks. I'm going to have a lot of fun, man. It's a good city.
Manchester's all right still.
It's not quite Madrid, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
do we still think Rick Ross was lying about that bar?
That was playing in my head the whole time.
Fuck the same hoes.
I mean, if you listen to the song, he says bare other famous people.
Yeah, let's focus on David Beckham.
But it was just agenda. I mean, you know, he's at Miami now.
Yeah.
So, you know,
about to have a team that's worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. You're going to sell it and he'll be a billionaire soon.
Messi's there.
Yeah.
You know, so
build up the value.
It's just his trajectory has been nuts, bro. And like he was the original like Don when it came to like a brand in football.
Yeah.
Like as in from when you look at like Ronaldo, when he had that big like deal with Armani doing the boxes, I'm like, Beckham did that.
He had the H&M joints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done the H&M, he's done the high street, he's done high fashion houses as well. And yeah, man, like him getting with a Spice Girl at the time where they got together as well, it was just like, whoa, this is like Beckham was still on a come up.
Yeah.
They're about to go on a world tour. Like, it was sort of like a match made. And then obviously when you saw them out, she was like the fashionable one in Spice Girls. And then she turned him into a fashion don.
Yeah. Got my wearing sarongs and that.
That's why it's mutually beneficial. When everyone was like, oh yeah, Victoria was better than him or bigger than him rather than this
so and that. So who gave who more of a boost? I want to hear from Chrissy. We finally got to what thing I want to talk about.
I think like Van said, they were equally yoked. Like she was a Spice Girl in the biggest band at the time.
Yeah.
Biggest selling out of all the girls.
If not the biggest footballer in the world. Like
at least in the country.
Reputationally,
that's balanced to me. And they did like I think it was.
I don't think at the start it was even balanced, to be honest with you. I think it was he's dating a Spice Girl. It's like he's her plus one. And not as this is like
at the beginning. Obviously, like because she wasn't the main character in the Spice Girls.
Of course not.
Right? But she was still a Spice Girl. And they were the biggest thing that was going. 97, like they had the movie. And it's okay, they get together and obviously like it changes how people perceive David Beckham in a country now that he's dating a pop star, because we're seeing more of him was seeing what he's like outside of a Man United shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, you know, he went and got the hair deal, and then it went into clothes, cars. And then by the time he gets to like Madrid and they're doing their pre-season tour in Asia.
Crazy.
I think by that point, though, when things start to slow down obviously when the group's done and like the solo career doesn't necessarily pop. I know she had a few songs, but it didn't pop how maybe people have thought. And she's doing a family thing, maybe intentionally taking a back seat. Like, I want to focus on my family and the kids and that.
But then fashion
was clear.
a little bit later.
But
fashion tanked.
But the thing is,
she's doing really well in fashion right now.
No,
fashion tanked.
She's doing
really well in fashion.
She's doing really well in fashion right now.
There was time period like it was consistent losses.
Yeah. No, but I think that's like with a lot of businesses.
Is it doing well now? Yeah.
No, it's making millies
They're
still. It's making millies still.
Quite a lot of losses.
Yeah.
I think the funny thing is watching the documentary.
Chrissy will confirm or deny these allegations.
When I finished watching it, I came out of it thinking, I really like VictoriaBeckham. You know, like she's really personable. She knows how to tell stories. Yeah. I can almost see why David likes her so much. I really came out of that documentary liking VictoriaBeckham a lot. Other than when she tried to claim that she was working class. Other than that,
your dad drove you in a Rolls Royce to school.
It depends for me. Because what do you mean it depends? So one day it might be a Rolls Royce, the next day it might be a Maybach. Get out my face.
But that's why I rate David Beckham. He was like, stop all that cap, man. Man
came
out from the closet and said, don't try it, man.
Yeah.
What car did your dad drive you to school? And he's like,
because Bex is like East End and that. Yeah. And like
East
he's
London,
Cockney
boy.
But I think I kind of understand where she's coming from, because in this country, when you look at class, it's like her dad could have had a Rolls Royce, yes.
Yeah.
But to the upper class people,
they might be in commoners still.
Yeah, you're just the girl who's like,
Damn, I could get a Rolls Royce and I'm still not deemed.
No, but compared to these
this
people,
is someone that was going to school.
No, but compared to these people who would have had like family money, like crest money,
old money.
So yes, your dad drives Rolls Royce,
slave
but
money.
they're gonna look at her like, okay, like your dad put these little shekels together. Great, good for you.
Well, he got his money from construction or something.
Yeah,
he's an old East End gangster, but he's still got money.
Yeah,
I'll stand with David Beckham. Stop the cap, man.
Stop the cap.
Like you were getting dropped to school and it's in the Rolls.
Thank you for that context.
Yeah,
but
stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Classism in this country is a crazy idea.
Chrissy, you raised a wonderful point.
Well, clear
stop the cap.
Stop the cap. Okay.
No, I enjoyed it. I'm with you as well. Like she came across really well. You know, like you don't know these people, but they just look really like. See at the end where like he's doing the whole beekeeping thing, and he's got his little space in the back where they seem happy. They're just like a normal family.
Yeah.
I know it sounds dumb to say because they are, but they just look like a normal happy family and like.
And it was just like, it was just great to see the dynamic, because obviously like when there was certain points when they were out in public, and you can see that like obviously by how they're narrating it, like they were like, you know, we weren't at a good place, but obviously they're on the red carpet and they're asking questions, and you know, someone just has to take heed and say that one thing to like put everything to bed.
Beckham answered the question. They took
like,
the mic, they put it in the
you know
answered.
that like, you know, at home we may have a conversation about that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, and she was like, "Rah, like there was a time where I did resent him."
Cheated, bro.
I hear it.
Rebecca Luz, allegedly.
But you know, Bex, what the recurring theme of this, like that he wasn't a quitter.
Yeah, he's a mentality monster.
Yeah, he weren't about to, you know, let his family crumble.
Booing him, and he said, "Yeah, what? Boo again?
Top bins.
Okay, what did you guys think of Landon Donovan and like how he dealt with the whole him?
Yeah, it was a bitch boy move.
Galaxy.
I was like,
pull up on me in the dressing room. Don't write in your book, pussy.
Fair, but also don't hide in Milan and say I want to stay here when you have this massive contract that you have to honor. Just because you're David Beckham doesn't mean you can shit on the American League and break a contract.
It's not even just that, bro. If I'm David Beckham and I'm coming from where I'm coming from in Europe, and then I'm coming over here and I'm seeing abysmal football, bro, you're gonna want to go back to the elite level to play for your country.
Do you know it is though? But at the same time, it's weird. It's like, you know, sometimes you can price yourself out. It's like the thing they people feel like might happen with Sterling after Chelsea kind of thing. Yeah, I know it's like a wide berth in regards to example. Beckham at the time, because I remember, wasn't favoured with Capello. He was out. I even remember that time period.
I know.
Yeah, wasn't favoured. Then he comes back and obviously they win the league, whatever. Yeah, and now it's like stayed, but you could still be a bit part player, of course. Capello leaves after that, but if you leave Madrid then, where are you going in the world? This wasn't the era of like mad money in China and Saudi. Where would he have been going and he would have been able to get mad bread like that? That deal in America, yeah, the way it was brokered for him was it could only happen because like you're a massive fish in a small pond. So if you go there, yes, this is below your level, but it is also your level because it's a longer play. And at the age you are now in your career, like, do you even want to be like having to do like 12 kilometers a game? You kind of want a bit of an easier ride as well.
You don't know that.
Because my man got the call back coming, because also at the time, you keep playing for England, it's part of the brand extension. So my man gave you the call. The manager goes, oh yeah, you know what? If you're playing in Europe, you're going to get picked for England. But
for me, it's still part of your desire. Yeah. At the end of the day, like you can say yes to one thing, like, and then you go there and it's not what it's all cracked out to be. And if you know that there's still an opportunity to play for your country with these conditions, that you come out on loan and play at the highest level, footballers of that mentality are still going to want to test themselves and play at the higher level, even though it's all rosy over there. Like, yeah he can chill. He has every reason to chill on the bread that he's on. Yeah. And you've got people in your team that are making 13 bags a year.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can chill there, but then if I've got the opportunity to come back and still prove myself and play amongst people that I think are on my level, and then I happen to enjoy it here, of course I'm gonna try and pull strings. It's in human nature.
No, I understand the perspective, but my thing is, you still said it publicly. So I didn't like how Landon Donovan dealt with him, but David Beckham expressed his desire to leave publicly as well, and you entertained it because, like, because remember, player power is a real thing, innit? And at that level,
and this is where it plays a part where Landon Donovan should have understood, because like you don't have people up in your face 24/7, like how I do.
Of course not.
People are always going to ask me for my opinion.
But also, if you do, you're used to
people
that.
in LA are only going to ask you for your
better.
opinion.
If you are used to that, you know how to handle those questions better, because David Beckham is also, if you watch the documentary, you can kind of see where he played into the media, like obviously the issues with like his household, and you know, like make sure you come out with the stitches, you always wear beanies, you make sure that's out now, like they're little things that you play into the press because
don't talk to me
it's going to work to your
my
benefit.
Introduction to the league is helping you lot get paid more.
But you're also here now as well, though, innit? Like, and when you weren't here, I'm holding it down.
I am, but
do you know this whole conversation? He came back, and on documentary, my man said he owned him, so he still came back anyway. So you tried your thing, you tried to flex, you tried to leave him go Milan, it didn't happen, you came back.
Yeah, but you still did what you did there.
Crazy.
You still did but you still did what you had to come to do. At the end of the day, for me personally, I wouldn't mind coming back if I've got to fulfill, you know, the little itch that I needed to scratch over there back in Europe.
Yeah.
I come back, do my thing. I still have this deal that's going to benefit me and my family in the future. And then I leave this, still go back to Europe and win another league in another country. Yeah. Like, it just goes.
But he came back against his wishes because he wanted to stay, and they were like, no. So it's not like I'm just coming back, it's no. You can't stay.
Messi, you know.
You just, there's certain points, no matter how big you are, you still have to kind of like lay in bed towards the institution that are paying you.
And that's what I'm making. It's like that you've got this contract, but you couldn't break it. But there was nothing you could do to get out of it.
But you still were able to go ahead and do that whilst everyone else went back to cleaning bathrooms.
Let's not. You're shitting on the working man. Let's not get too crazy. Let's chill.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
But then again, it's not his fault that he's David Beckham, and this isn't me picking sides. It's like
this is. I'm just trying to speak from like the perspective of like, I have a
rich
lot
man
more.
dating a Spice Girl. I love that.
Nah, just like I have more at my disposal to play with,
of course,
regardless of the choices that I made.
People of a certain level, you work on different rules. I'm not oblivious.
But it was good. It was good that like obviously they spoke on how they made him understand Landon's position. Like, rah, this is his Manchester United. Imagine if the shoe was on
it was a shit comparison.
This is my Manchester United, bro. Go to Europe, man.
No, but it was just like, all right, cool.
Christian
like,
Pulisic, go Europe.
I need to understand, why like he felt this way.
He was so passionate,
But if I'm sharing, like, if I'm with you in a changing room and I have this problem with you, like,
don't write it
in a book because you know it's gonna come back to me. You might as well just say it to me, even if you did put it in your book. Just say, by the way, like, yo, I'm vexed. Like, if I'm putting LA on my back in the way that I'm saying, this is my Manchester United. Speak on it. Like,
but to everything you're saying about Beckham, who he is, and the roles he plays by, it might have been an intimidating character. The average person at LA Galaxy can't even talk to David Beckham during that time period. Let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah,
let's be for real. Have you seen how Messi's bodyguard moves when people come within 2 meters of him?
Yeah.
In his circumference, in his orbit, it's peak for you, bro. Come on, man.
There's certain people, that I understand why things are a certain way.
Come on, man.
And Messi is one of them.
Yeah.
Because like we speak on Beckham, but his thing is like, no one's gonna touch this greatest ever title.
But I think what Beckham has on Messi is just like the aura. It's a little bit different, and not in a rude way. When you also speak English fluently,
like
that the level of communication. You can also see
that Messi doesn't want all the extra bits.
He's just purely football greatness.
He just wants to be football.
Because he's so good at football, like everything has to come with it.
Like, what do you mean you want me to stand here and model these sunglasses? Get out of my face, man.
You can literally see in his face that he's genuinely unbothered.
He's also a little bit weird. Have you not seen the thing where he laughs at the journalist?
Yeah. But bro, like,
they're saying that he's got he's a little bit on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But the thing is that like when you're so good, you just know that like people are attracted to good things.
Yeah.
And if like you're doing things like out of this world every week for the past 15 years, like better than everyone else, and better than
on 20 years now as well,
and better than anyone else that came before you, it's like, all right, everyone's just gonna be drawn to me, even if I'm like the person that tries to shy away from it.
Yeah.
And then you've got the polar opposite in Cristiano Ronaldo. It's the same thing, but he just embraces it. It's just like a personality thing.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see other footballers get ideas and think that they should do documentaries, because with the
it's
greatest
coming,
level of respect.
Bro, footballers are doing podcasts.
Stay out of our lane, man.
I hear it, but like documentaries, unless you're like the upper echelons of the David Beckham, like Nicholas Anelka, his story was interesting.
As an Arsenal fan.
No, but at the same time,
I wasn't mad at his doc though, you know.
I wasn't mad at his doc. But at the same time, I was like, it wasn't really needed.
But he's got an interesting story, and that whole French setup and new setup, it's an interesting story to have.
It is an interesting story.
I can't wait to see Mbappe's documentary in 15 years' time. Kill it.
Yeah.
Mbappe,
kill it.
So I think when he eventually gets his move to Real Madrid, he will undeniably become the biggest star on the planet. I really do believe it.
Yeah. Like,
because LeBron is pushing on.
Yeah, but if
I
you
don't
see
really
how
know who else in
you need a new face, and even the brands are like, okay, who's going to be the new person for like the next 10 years for our
in
brand?
athletics, Usain Bolt's been dusted.
Yeah.
So there's no one in athletics.
Yeah.
So Mbappe, I'm not putting it on Haaland, hell no.
No. If you see how kids,
Haaland's got no drip. It's just that's just pure
Mbappe
industrial.
now. The way kids speak about Mbappe now, like you just know that going to Real Madrid will just take him to.
It needs to happen sooner rather than later, because
he's the last one left out of Drip FC.
Yeah. Also, I love the fact that Real Madrid they're blacked right now.
Hey, choose another word, bro. I don't want to see your cookies. Oh my god!
Chat to your boy.
My! Leave the plug.
I've never seen it. Like, what, you got Rudiger, you've got Jude Bellingham is my favourite person in the entire world right now.
Camavinga.
Militao.
It's very black.
Alaba.
Vinicius.
Like,
so black.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, if Mbappe goes there as well, it's crazy, man.
Pace and Power FC. I love it.
They're like Crystal Palace on steroids.
That's the bust down version of Palace.
I said they got their own Roy Hodgson as well.
It's true. Man, like, boy.
Yeah.
But I'm happy. I hope by the sounds we all enjoyed the documentary.
I was really good.